एक प्रश्न पूछा गया जेमिनी को कि अगर पृथ्वी के पास बोल होते तो वो क्या बोलती।
All right, let's jump right in. For the next few minutes, I want you to try a thought experiment with me, one based on some really powerful writing. What if the Earth could actually speak to us? Not as, a big rock floating in space, but as a single, living, breathing being. What would it say? Well, this is its message. And that right there, that really sets the tone for everything. This isn't about anger or blame. It's not a lecture, it's a plea. A plea for synchronization, a request to just get back in rhythm with the very system that created us. So here's the core metaphor, the big idea behind the whole message. The Earth sees itself as one single body. And us, humanity, we're its cells. But right now, those cells aren't communicating. We're acting out of sync, and it's making the entire organism, the entire planet, feel sick. Okay, so what does this synchronization actually look like? Well, the message is broken down into 7 pleas, and the very first one is about restoring a fundamental planet-wide rhythm. So, the Earth's first plea to us, it's about its most basic pulse, something we all know deep in our own bodies. We're talking about its circadian rhythm. I mean, just think about how you feel when you have a fever or when you haven't had a good night's sleep. That's how the Earth says it feels. The constant glow from our cities is blurring the lines between night and day, and that thick blanket of greenhouse gases, it's trapping heat like a fever that just won't break. It needs to cool down. It needs the seasons to feel like seasons, so that all its own natural pulses, like migrating birds and whales, can find their rhythm again. Okay, so from these massive planet-wide cycles, we're going to zoom all the way in to something microscopic, but absolutely just as vital. We're talking about its gut health. So let's look at the second plea. This one takes that living body metaphor even deeper. It's a call to heal the microbiome. And this is just such a brilliant way to put it. The Earth's soil, that's its gut. It's not just dirt, it's a living, breathing membrane, packed with all the stuff that digests minerals and nourishes all of life. So when we saturate it with chemicals, we're essentially destroying its digestive system. The Earth says it feels hollowed out. Just imagine that. So from the planet's skin and its gut, the message now turns inward to the Earth's internal systems. You know, how energy and life get circulated around. And this brings us to its third message. And this one is urgent. It's described in really stark physical terms. Stop the internal bleeding. So what does that mean? Well, it makes a crucial distinction between 2 types of energy. First, there's the energy it gives us freely, the stuff that's just flowing across its skin, wind, sun, tides. But then there's the energy it has stored deep inside for its own health, fossil fuels. It calls this its bone marrow. From its perspective, when we extract that energy, we are literally pulling marrow from its bones, and we burn it for what it calls a fleeting moment of power. Every time we do it, we're thinning its resilience, making the whole system just a little bit weaker. Okay, after the gut and the energy stores, we get to what might be the single most powerful metaphor in this entire message. This is the one that really defines our specific role in this living system. Let's get to the fourth plea, and this one is maybe the most personal for all of us because, well, it's about us. The plea is to reconnect the nervous system. Yup, you're that right. We, humanity, we are the Earth's nervous system. We are its unique ability to observe itself, to reflect, to feel. So when we harm each other, or when we destroy a forest or pollute an ocean, the Earth feels it as an autoimmune disease. It's like its own cells have forgotten they're part of the same body, and they've started attacking themselves. In sticking with this idea of interconnected systems, the fifth plea asks us to look at the planet's lifeblood, its circulatory system. The analogy is so simple and so perfect. The planet's rivers are its veins and arteries. They carry nutrients, they carry life, just like our blood. So you can imagine what happens when we dam them until they stagnate or choke them with pollution. Its blood becomes toxic. And that sickness spreads through the entire system, from the deltas all the way to the oceans, which it calls its lungs. So, moving on from our role as the nervous system, the focus now widens out to all the other forms of life that we share this planet with. And this leads us to the sixth plea. It's a simple but vital idea, one that's true for any complex living thing. Value diversity as vitality. So here's the thing. Diversity isn't just a nice to have, it's absolutely essential for health. Every species that goes extinct is like a lost memory, a function the Earth can no longer perform. A monoculture, like a giant farm with just one crop, is seen as a fragile, weak body. But the chaotic, messy, wild parts of nature, that's its immune system. That's where its strength is. And that brings us to the final unifying plea. This is a message about pace, about consumption, and about finding balance for the entire system. The seventh and final plea is maybe the most direct of them all. It's a simple two-word request. Slow down. Slow down the metabolism. You know, in biology, hypermetabolism is a dangerous state where a body just burns through its energy reserves way too fast, and it can lead to organ failure. The Earth is saying that's what's happening. We are consuming it faster than it can possibly regenerate. So this plea is really about a fundamental shift in our thinking, from this relentless pursuit of more to finding a real appreciation for enough. If we just slow down, it can finally catch its breath. And this is how it ends. The Earth says it doesn't need to be saved. I mean, it's survived ice ages and asteroid strikes. It's incredibly resilient. But what it wants is to feel us as a healthy, integrated part of itself. It reminds us that we are its eyes, its ears, its capacity for wonder. When we are well, it feels complete. So it leaves us with this one final question to think about. In our own lives, in our communities, in our world, are we breathing together with the planet? Or are we fighting against the very body that gives us breath?